I built a NAS in my home using this tiny computer. It has 2 terabytes of storage and can be accessed from anywhere on the internet. I'll be showing you how you can set it up and why would you need it. Coming up. You might ask, why would you need a separate storage like this when you can use services like Google Drive or iCloud? Well, the answer is pretty simple. These services charge you every month, and it's definitely better to have a one-time investment in an SSD for a good amount of storage. There are a lot of NAS out there in the market that you can check out. But in this video, we'll be building our own NAS using the Brainy Pi. You can also use other SBCs like the Raspberry Pi for this project. The additional benefit of using the Brainy Pi is that we can connect an M.2 SSD using the back port. So let's jump straight into a trusted computer and start the setup process. So we are here onto a trusted computer, and the first thing that we're gonna do is install Docker. And once we have Docker installed, then we are gonna install this Portainer application, which is a beautiful web application that will help us manage all the Docker containers and volume out there. You can also skip this part, but it's pretty good to have a good user interface to manage all the Docker containers out there. So if you are deploying multiple applications on your Brainy Pi, then this is like a must-have application. And once we have Portainer installed, then we're going to install Nextcloud, which is basically our NAS software using Docker, and that's pretty much it. So let's just start. So I'll first SSH into the Brainy Pi. So just type in SSH pi @brainypi.local, and I'll enter the password. Brainy is the default password. So we are here. So I'll just update the repositories. So sudo apt update. Once we are done, we are going to install Docker and Docker Compose onto the Pi. So just type in sudo apt install docker.io and docker compose -y. And this will install Docker and Docker Compose for us. So there we go. Now we have installed Docker and Docker Compose, and step 1 is complete. So now we're gonna go to Portainer and install Portainer. So this is basically documentation. You can find this in the link in the description. So there are basically only 2 steps to install Portainer, and this is like a one-time thing to do. You don't have to install Portainer multiple times, so it's pretty good. So I'll just copy this. So one is to create the Portainer volume. So I'll just copy this command, paste this, hit enter. Okay, so if you're getting this permission denied, that means we do not have the sudo permission. So I'll just retype it with sudo, and there we have Portainer data volume. So once we are done with that, we just need to run this Docker command to start Portainer. I'll just copy it, and I'll add a sudo before that and paste the Docker run command. So this will be running on port 9443 for the web interface, and I'll hit enter. And it should actually pull the Docker container basically first. I already had pulled it before, so it should take around a couple of minutes. And there we have the Docker container running. We can verify it by using docker sudo docker ps, and there we have Portainer is running on port 9443. So we can just go and verify on the port 9443. So I'll just enter the Brainy Pi port 9443. Hit enter. Okay. So seems like Portainer does not work with HTTP, so I had to add HTTPS. So I'll click on advanced, accept the risk and continue. And there we have. So this is the setup guide for Portainer. So I'll just put a password. Okay, 12 characters. And there we have create user, and there we have. So our step 2 of installing Portainer is complete, and this is pretty much all you need. So it's pretty simple. In Portainer, you just need to select the environment. So I'll go to the home first and click on local. So that's our local environment. So the thing with Portainer is that you can install Portainer on a single server, and with that single Portainer instance, you can manage multiple instances of Docker running on different servers. So we are currently having Docker running on that same server. So we are going to select local, and yeah, there we have. So currently it's running one container, that's the Portainer itself. So you can navigate to the app template section from the menu, and you can see there are a lot of applications that you can directly spin up, but we're gonna use a custom template to add more applications into the registry. So just go to settings, and in the app template section you can change the URL. So I'll just paste this URL. You can find this URL in the link in the description. Click on save settings, and your settings are updated. Now we can go to the app, back to the app templates, and now you can see there are a lot more applications added into the app store. So in here we are just gonna search for Nextcloud. So yeah, you can just click on Nextcloud, and once you click on it, it will ask for a name, Nextcloud. You can just keep it default, enable access control, and then just click on deploy the stack, and just grab a coffee. And there we go. Our stack is successfully deployed, and you can see the Nextcloud in the stacks list. I can just click on it, and you can see there are two containers. One is the Nextcloud and one is the Nextcloud database. And as you can see, it's running on the port 49153. And if you wanted to have it running on some other port like 9000 or 8000, you can specify it in the previous step. So we'll just navigate to brainypi.local. Make sure it's HTTPS before, and on the port of 49153. So I'll specify the port and hit enter, and boom, we have successfully installed Nextcloud on the Brainy Pi. So it's asking to create an admin account. So I'll specify the username. I'll set a password, and it's asking you choose SQLite database. Yeah, we can ignore this and click on install. So it's now going through the one-time setup for Nextcloud. So there are also these recommended apps that Nextcloud is asking us to install, but we're gonna skip with it. If you want, you can try them out. I'll just skip for this, and it's gonna play a Nextcloud video. I'll just close this, and these are the recommended files that are by default. And there we have finally set up Nextcloud on the Brainy Pi. Now I'll show you how we can access all the files. So if you go on the top left, and there is a button for files, you can just click on that. So from here you can see all the files that are inside the network attached storage. So there is a default folder for documents, photos, templates, and there are some default files of Nextcloud. So now we will upload some files onto the NAS. So I'll click on this plus button, upload file. So I'll just upload this video that I've selected. Click on open, and there we go. Our video is uploaded, and I can also play back this video inside the NAS application. So I can just hit play, and I can play this just to preview the video. So if I wanted to download this video back from some other device, I just click on this three buttons and click on download, or maybe I can just go from here and then hit download. And you can also select multiple files from here and then click on actions and download them. So that's a quick guide on how you can operate the Nextcloud. There is also this photo section on the top left, which you can click, and the Nextcloud has uploaded some default photos in here, and you'll be able to see all your photos and medias in your NAS over here. So you can directly preview them here and download them whenever necessary. You can also create albums. You can filter them by videos, photos, and folders also. You can also look at the activity tab from the top left menu. So these are basically the logs of what was uploaded and when it was uploaded. So that is basically all you need to get started with NAS. There are also Nextcloud applications available for the desktop like Windows and Linux, and also for the phones like Android and iOS, through which you can directly access your NAS very easily. There are also a lot of advanced configurations out there in the settings here. So do let me know in the comment section if you need a part 2 video for this. So that was it on how you can easily set up your own NAS at home using the Brainy Pi. You can consider subscribing the channel as we put cool and awesome tech content like this every week. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in another video.